you for watching. Today I want to talk about what you need to stop doing if you are experiencing mid or lower back pain and what I recommend you do instead. Alright, so the one thing you must stop doing is bending at the waist or at the mid-back when bending forward, such as when you pick up something from the floor, tie your shoelaces, or doing any type of movement that should involve squatting and you don't. So, what to do instead? Well, first I want you to squat, and when squatting, you want to initiate your forward bend and move your torso from your sits bones as you release your hip joints, sockets, back of the knees, and front of the ankles. Okay, a lot of information in one little sentence. So let's back up real quick. So what are the sit bones and what are the hip joint sockets? So first, the sits bones. The sits bones are part of your pelvis, and they are the bones that you can feel on each side of your butt when you sit. So if you pull the flesh out to the side, you should feel those two little bones. And if you sit properly, you're actually balancing on your sits bones. Okay, so that's for the sits bones. Now, the hip joint sockets. Let me stand up to show you. So the hip joint sockets are not your hip bones, which are those two bones that you can feel below the waist. The hip joint sockets are really on each side of your pubic bones, and you can actually put your thumbs in there and you can feel it. So as you squat, you always have to release here, okay? So you can put your thumbs in there, so it's really in the front, each side of the pubic bone, and think of releasing, or I like to say soften, okay? So if you soften here and you squat, then suddenly it's a whole different story. Okay, so let's practice a little bit. So let's say you want to pick up something from the floor. The first thing we tend to do, we go like this, right? We bend at the hips, at the waist, or at the back, and we hardly bend our knees. All right, so if you need to pick up something from the floor, I said, remember, you initiate the movement from your sits bones, which are those two little bones on each side of your bum that you can feel mostly when you sit, but if you're trying hard enough, standing, you can feel them as well. So you want to move from there, and you want to release at the hip joints or soften at the hip joints, same with the back of the knee, same with the front of the ankle, and you can pick something up. Plus, it gives you extra exercise, right? It's actually great because you get a workout by just picking up stuff from the floor. So you soften, initiate the movement from there, soften, 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 pick up, pick up, pick up. Okay, so now let's move into one of a, pretty popular workout routine when you squat. Same, initiate the movements from the sits bones, releasing at the front, back, and front again, front of the hip joints, back of the knee, front of the ankle. There you've got your squat. Okay, so in any types of sports that you do, think about this. Now let's take it to yoga. When you're in a chair pose, same idea. Initiating the movement from the sits bones, releasing at the hip joints, back of the knee, front of the ankle. And then here you're in a chair pose with the feet about hip width apart, or whatever feels comfortable for you. If you've watched my video about the arms, you're moving the arms from the armpit, reaching the arms up, and keep releasing. Releasing doesn't mean collapsing. Releasing means releasing any unnecessary tension into the ground. Okay, so this is it. Okay, that was short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed it. Think about it when you are in your daily life, or when you're doing your sports, or when you're doing yoga. This is very important, not to bend at the waist or the mid-back, but instead think of moving from the sits bones, releasing front, back, and front again. Thank you for watching. You can thumb it up, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Until next time.